This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Norwegian Cruise Line's Black Friday preview sale is finally here. Enjoy huge savings with 50% off all cruises and NCL's all-new More at Sea package, including unlimited open bar, specialty dining, and more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line ships registry the Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
TNT, the good old days are over.
Do you remember back when in the old NBA games when they used to have like the pre-recorded scripts of like that group of like Shaq and Barkley just doing whatever before like you loaded into a game of 2K?
Yeah, dude. I mean, when I found out that like TNT was done and that, you know, the OG crew of you know, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, and who am I missing?
Ernie, the host, Ernie Johnson.
You know, when I think of those, I just think about all the days back playing 2K and just the intermission shows. You know,
me ripping you in 2K, or
yeah, you smacking me in 2K, definitely. You know, watching especially like just NBA growing up, like watching you know, the Raptors in the playoffs, and it's just such a legendary crew. It's so sad to see that it's over. I mean, from what I understand, TNT had the chance to match the deal, and they did. And then the NBA still declined and went with Amazon. So if those of you didn't see, the NBA signed an 11-year deal with Amazon to be the new presenter, or like that's their new TV deal, getting rid of TNT. So, you know, the crew's gone. But yeah, so what do you think about this new deal? Like, I mean, it seems like a nonsense move for the NBA.
Dude, it's like getting rid of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like those presenters have like changed, honestly changed. Like you always see the old clips on like on TikTok and Instagram. They were like completely unhinged, basically no script. Like they got a teleprompter every once in a while, right? But they just let them do whatever they wanted to do, and it seems so like authentic. And like those old clips and everything that's that they were like kind of remembered for is just kind of thrown in the garbage a little bit, it feels like. And how long have they been doing it for? Like 20 years?
I actually don't know how long they've been doing it for, but it's got to be around there. I mean, it's just so, you want to look that up? It's just so sad. I mean, yeah, these guys are legends. I mean, Shaq and Chuck are, you know, more so legends. I mean, all-timer players, but the chemistry that those guys had together on set. I mean, Chuck and Shaq pranking each other, and all the ridiculous moments and videos that we've seen come out of that group of guys in TNT. The NBA won't be the same realistically, and yeah, I'm pretty devastated. It sounds like TNT's taking legal action over it, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, because they said if they match the deal, then they would stick with them, and they didn't. So I saw that TNT's taking legal action. We'll see where that goes. But
dude,
yeah, do you have much more else to say about it, Joey?
Is it like okay? Well, I got one thing. The clip of Shaq trying to race Kenny to, or was it who bodies him into the Christmas tree? Do you know the clip I'm talking about?
I was gonna bring that up too.
Shaq, the one where he just absolutely just flies like Superman. Flies into the giant Christmas tree. It's so fun. It's so funny, man. It's like, it's sad, dude. Like
so many classic, unbelievable moments.
And you know, like the first broadcast where they're not there, and it's like Amazon or whatever, and they're gonna have like, you know, you know who's gonna be on the panel. It's not gonna. Is it gonna be those guys, or is it? It's not.
No, I don't think they've said anything about who's going to be on the panel. I think it's possible that one or two of them are, but I don't think that the whole crew is moving over by any means. I think they all have they all have TNT contracts. So
I don't know who specifically, but I think that there's one or two of them that have said, I'm not working for them unless it's TNT.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's not surprising.
But yeah, I think if they end up breaking up that, it's kind of iconic, man. Like you've
so iconic.
Christmas morning, like you know how we always get the American broadcast on Christmas. We're Canadian, obviously, and they're always hosting it, and it's like it's just kind of like a memory of just seeing them presenting it, and it's I don't think it'll be the same, man.
Yeah, I mean, it really just enhances your watching experience, and you know, I mean, especially with Charles Barkley. I mean, he went on Spittin' Chicklets, and he's always been a very big fan and promoter of hockey. So I hope that he's still around and on TV and doing similar things, because he's done a great job actually at helping promote the NHL. And there was also Shaquille O'Neal also did support it this year, especially there was that whole Shaq Hyman thing where Zach Hyman got him a signed jersey and all that. So yeah, I mean, I'm really upset, but it is what it is, and we'll see what they do moving forward. Who knows? Maybe the new hosts will do a great job too, whoever they are. Or, yeah.
Do you think it'll affect the NHL TNT podcast?
No, probably not. At least not in the short term, but it could in the long term. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, yeah, because that panel's done amazing things for hockey as well. So it's like it seems like an L for the NBA to try and get rid of that when everyone, it's like everyone wants them to stay.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more, buddy.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Jungle Hockey Podcast, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. New contract. We got a pretty big episode for you guys today. I'm joined with my co-host, Mr. Owen Elson.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Yeah, big episode today. Now presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. So that's been pretty exciting for me and Joe over the past couple of weeks, figuring all that out. We got an unbelievable interview today. My old coach from last year, Mr. Richard Kimber. Dickie was awesome in his interview. So, you guys should be really excited for that one. But yeah, Joey, how you been, buddy?
Good, man. Why do they call him Dickie?
Oh, Richard, Dickie.
Just Richard? Okay. Common. That's why I got confused when I was doing the what is it? I was trying to look him up or whatever. I was like, who the hell? There's no coach named Dickie. I was like, what the hell's going on?
I think his elite prospects is like Dick Kimber too. So, yeah.
No, man, I've been good. I've been, working obviously and getting ready to go here, leaving soon. Crazy. Just paid my down payment for my apartment and shit.
Nice, beauty.
Yeah, still don't have any roommates though, which is kind of weird. Like I'm just gonna kind of show up and should be interesting. I think I'm probably gonna get roomed with some hockey teammates, but I just don't know who yet. And yeah, tuition's a bitch, but whatever.
Yeah, well, how are you feeling about leaving soon, dude?
I'm looking forward to it, man, but I'm also kind of like I'm getting more and more nervous as we get closer, right? So I'm just like, I'm kind of, it's unexpected. Like, I don't really know what to expect. I feel like after this first semester is going to be, after that, it's going to be, I'll be more comfortable and kind of know what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah, it's definitely a big adjustment to make, just even going to a new school in general. And then you get the hockey on top of that, you get moving countries. I mean, it's not like you're going to school an hour away like me at SFU, like you're moving to Missouri, like you're gonna be close to St. Louis and going to Drury. So I mean, that's a pretty big adjustment for you, dude.
I'm looking forward to it though. Like I'm not like it's not like a bad nervous. It's like I'm ready to go. It's a kind of new shit going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Of course.
Yeah. My mask and stuff came in too. So
your mask came in?
Yeah, so I'm waiting for it to get all done up, which is sick. So I'm I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to just getting down there and getting settled, meeting the
No,
boys
that's
too.
awesome.
Like I got 20,
Yeah.
well, I know Luke, but I got like 24 new dudes to meet basically. Like I don't know, or is it? I might be more, dude. I think we have like 26, 27 guys.
That's
It's a bigger
crazy.
roster.
Yeah. And then I
So
mean,
yeah,
yeah, no, lots going on. Big changes for you moving forward. I mean, it's gonna be pretty crazy, but I'm pumped for you, man. I'm really excited.
yeah. I'll give you a room tour when I get down there.
Oh yeah, you got to. Well, to get into a little bit more of the show, did you see the new WNBA TV deal?
No, I did not. You need to inform me on that because I'll form an opinion here, but I did not see. Is it
Yeah,
good?
yeah, dude. I mean, it's amazing, amazing news for the WNBA. It's you love to see it. It's reportedly worth about 200 million per season. Um, Also, like, or you could put in 2.2 billion for the full term, which is unbelievable. Um, they're currently on a deal that's 60 million per season. That's supposed to end in 2025. So the deal that they're signing now, I mean, more than 3 times the current deal. That's huge for the WNBA, huge for them. Continuing to build their own market, make their own revenues, and be a self-sustaining league. I mean, obviously, there's been an insane amount of attention drawn to it this year, and they've done a good job of riding the wave of popularity Caitlin Clark brought. They've really capitalized on it, and it's good to see the league continue to grow and become profitable like this.
How does that compare to how much is the NBA broadcasting deal?
Let me take a look.
Like it's got to be it. I'm not trying to compare like it's apples to oranges. Realistically, it's not.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I know the NBA one's 11 years, $76 billion.
Okay, and
So
what's
I
the
mean,
WNBA is 2?
2.2 billion. Yeah.
Okay, so how long is
So
the NBA one?
11 years.
And the WNBA one's the same length?
The WNBA TV deal is also 11 years.
Okay. I think really positive for the league. Like growing that has to be the biggest women's broadcasting deal for women's sports. Like that I don't think there's anything bigger than that, is
Yeah,
there?
I couldn't tell you, man, but
I
regardless, I mean, just looking at the number itself and looking at how the league has grown over the last few years, it's great news no matter what. I mean, it's just, yeah, you love to
yeah.
see sports growing, especially women's sports, and continue to get the coverage they deserve. But Joey, big new goalie deal in the NHL. Did you see Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's new contract?
Yeah. I was actually, what was funny is I was skating with Benson the same day
Oh
that
yeah,
happened, and he comes in
yeah.
and I was like I was talking with him. He's like, "Yeah, do you see he just signed and he got what was it, 5.5?"
Around there. I'm not sure the exact number, but close to that for 4 years, I believe.
Something like that.
5.5, I think. Yeah.
What are they doing with Levi, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the
Like,
amount's not too crazy high, but I mean, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's been a pretty highly praised goalie prospect for a while, and he did a good job last season. I mean, it seemed a bit steep for me, but regardless, I
yeah,
mean, it's a pretty tradable contract if Levi ends up kind of taking over. So I think that's kind of maybe the mindset there.
maybe, yeah.
And I don't quite think Levi's ready for the full starting role. But I mean, you're the goalie guy. What do you think?
It's a good tandem. It's a really
Yeah,
good tandem.
yeah, no
Like
kidding.
having both of them together, like if you're right, if Levi can't handle the starting role this year, like uh Ukko-Pekka's gonna take over. He's proven he can be the guy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And do you think Buffalo's in a playoff bound spot here, or how do you think they're looking next year?
I mean, although I didn't like the Savoy trade, I think they've improved their team from last year, and they have a lot of young players who I think are going to continue to develop and take big steps. So, I mean, they're in a pretty similar situation they were in last year and the year before. They're a bubble team, and same with Detroit, same with Ottawa. This year, they need to prove they can take that step. Those 3 teams have been talked about what great prospects pools they have, how close they are, future's bright. But the last few years, everyone's been saying it, and all those teams have nothing to show for it. So I hope and think that they'll take that jump this year.
I think losing Savoy just paints Buffalo in a different light for me a little bit. Like, cause I was like thinking like, Oh, they'll have Benson, they'll have Savoy, they'll have, really like those are two solid, like almost franchise prospects, you might say.
Yeah.
Coming through your system, and then they're a solid team, right? But after that trade, and I don't really know the mindset of what they want to do, because they have good prospects, and they also have, I don't know if they have the guys to get it done this year, but they traded Savoy for a guy that they want to get done this year. So I don't really know the vision.
Yeah, I think the vision with McLeod, he's really good at even strength. He's good in his own end. He's a sure thing as a third line center, where I guess Savoy, I guess they probably don't view him kind of as highly as you do. I view him quite highly. Maybe not a franchise prospect or anything like that, but he's a top prospect. I don't like the trade for them, but at the same time, I kind of see the vision. But I mean, the results this year will kind of show us that, right?
Yeah, dictate that. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and with his deal, like if they end up shopping a trade, like you said, he's still, he's tradable at that cap price, because he's a solid goalie, right?
The Edmonton Oilers bring in Mr. Stan Bowman as their general manager.
The worst GM
on the planet
ever.
This is coming from a former Joe is a former Blackhawks fan, so this is coming from him. Joe, what's your whole take on the situation, professionally and with the whole controversy?
Well, I don't think he's going to be getting a parade in Edmonton for him signing there. I think it's a pretty unpopular decision. Like, I don't really know what the front office is thinking there, especially when you have, a guy who turned the team around as the acting GM. And I don't know. I just think Edmonton is going to be in a weird place when they start trading guys for bags of pucks and they're going to keep 100%. They'll keep Darnell Nurse. They might even re-sign him. They might even send him because of the way that Stan Bowman operates. So, like, I think I've been a Blackhawks fan for what, 12, 15 years now.
Yeah.
And the way that he left the organization, not minus the controversy, not even the
yeah, you're just talking about how bad he is at his job. Forget the controversy.
Yeah. The general way, the business that he did was horrible.
Brutal.
Like some of the trades that he's made, like if you look back at some of the worst trades he's made, he traded Panarin for, who did he get for Panarin?
Brandon Saad.
After he already left, and then he brought him back.
And then he wasn't
for Panarin. That was horrible.
Traded Teravainen for a bag of pucks, who they just re-signed, which is funny.
They just re-signed him, which I was kind of happy to see him go back there. But some of the stuff that they don't even draft good either. Like, no. Obviously they got Bedsy, right? But
well, I mean, that's recent. That's not Bowman.
Exactly. That's not. That wasn't even him.
No,
that's right. He probably wouldn't even take him Bedard first overall if he fucking was still the GM. To be honest, he's that level. And then the cherry on top is just how bad he handled that whole situation in Chicago. Like, honestly, almost turned me off as a turned me to more towards the Canucks. Like, turned me back into almost a full-time Canucks fan, just because of, the way that we're gonna, like, I'm gonna cheer for Chicago if they do good, but I would probably consider myself more of a Canucks fan now, just because of the way that it was him, and it was the whole organization handled the way that when that stuff came out, that obviously with Beach and everything. I just don't know how he got a job in the NHL after that.
But yeah, I couldn't agree with every single thing you've said more. I don't even really have anything to add. You've covered everything perfectly. Terrible decision from a business perspective. He sucks at his job. He inherited a dynasty in Chicago and then ran them into the ground. Yeah, he's I mean, I'm not going to say he's like the biggest scumbag in the world. We don't know everything, but I mean, you know, in my opinion, yeah, he doesn't seem like a very good guy. I think him and the whole organization handled the whole beach situation poorly. He could have done a lot more. So yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that hire from a business or just I don't even know, general perspective. Like, he doesn't seem like a good dude or a good hire. Yeah, he's probably gonna hand out some fat contracts to some bad players in Edmonton. So, but speaking of fat contracts, what do you think of the Brock Faber deal? 8 years, 8.5.
See the clip of him signing it in the dressing room? They have a he's like coach is like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And he's just like, he instantly writes his signature. It takes him like 2 seconds. He's taking it. He's taking his money to the bank, man. Like, the good for him. He got paid. It's a bit. Is it a gamble? Do you think, or do you think it's
Yeah,
like
I
a
mean,
sure thing?
he had a fantastic year as a rookie. He's you know, looks like his trajectory is really good. I think he's a great young D man. Still has a lot of room to improve, both ends of the game. But for a rookie, he was amazing. 8.5 is a little steep, but with the cap going up, where the D man market is, I'm okay with it. You know, another big contract today given out to a young defenseman, Caden Gooley, got a pretty fat payday. I'm not sure of the exact terms of that one, but are you familiar much with Gooley as a player?
I just know that he played on. Was he on the World Jays team a couple years
Yeah,
ago?
he was on the World Junior
Yeah,
team. Yeah,
yeah, I remember watching him then. It was a bit of an overpay, wasn't it?
yeah. I mean, they must be really confident in him. They must, you know, rate him really, really highly. Probably higher than most people do. You know, 6 years at 5.5 is what he got. I think that's a little too much. It's too risky. He's good, but he's very defensive. You know, that's a lot of money for a guy who's defensive. I mean, I'm sure his offensive game will develop, but I think it's a little much. Again, young player, cap going up, high price for a good D man. Could age well.
Could age well. I think he has the potential to outgrow, out exceed the value of his contract, I guess. But yeah, I think Montreal's in a. I think Montreal's going to be in a good spot. They're stacking up. They're stacking up some really good prospects. They're yeah, that's so huge, man. I was looking at, there was a post, NHL posted their prospect pool. I didn't even realize Fowler, Jacob Fowler, the goalie for
Yeah,
Boston College, was I love his game.
he's so
Like,
good.
watching him play, he's so good, man. They got some really good prospects coming through, so I think Montreal is going to be in a pretty solid spot later down the line, a couple years from now. I don't know if they're a playoff team next year, but
No, I don't think so. Another pretty young team that looks like they'll have a bright future. The Columbus Blue Jackets made a couple re-signings to some young players. Former BCHL player and fifth overall pick Kent Johnson signed a 3-year deal worth only 1.8 per year. That could look really good in a
yeah,
year or two. At the
it's a
end of his
bridge deal, right? Though.
yeah, and you know, he struggled a bit, but I think he has a ton of potential. He could definitely find his game. You know, it might just take him a while to come around, but I think that's a great looking contract for now. And then Kirill Marchenko got a 3-year deal worth 3.8 per year, and he looked great this year. Good young forward, goal scorer. I think he fits in well in Columbus, and I think that's a good deal as well. So some good re-signings there for Columbus's young players.
It's got a cool last name. I like it, Marchenko.
Yeah.
Sounds
Um,
sick.
is there any other NHL news or things around the league you wanted to talk about?
What did I see? I feel like I saw something the other day, but I don't really remember.
No worries. Okay, well then
Um,
let's move. Okay, sorry.
oh, what there was the KHL, the you do you know what I'm talking about with the All Stars versus the Russian
Yeah, the NHL players, the KHL All Stars. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
that was cool. I think that was a couple weeks ago, but I saw a couple clips coming from it, and I don't know if there's much to talk about there, but I think it's cool how a country like that can, like, a whole country can throw a team together and play against a team, and they accept that they've moved on to the NHL, right? Like, they're
Yeah.
not kind of bitter that they've left, even though the KHL is a really solid, like, honestly, is the KHL the second? Is the
Yes.
KHL better than the AHL in your
Yes.
opinion?
Yes.
Yeah, so the second best pro league in the world,
I think
probably.
so. Yes. Yeah. No, I couldn't
And
agree with you more. I think it's great that they are able to, like still work with those NHL players and play a fun. I think the game ended like a 9-9 tie as well. There's tons of talent in the KHL, but yeah, I think it's good showing that they're okay, that those guys have moved on. It's good to see Panarin safe in Russia and all that.
Yeah, man. I agree.
Yeah, but if there's nothing else, then maybe let's get into. I just have a couple things from the PIJ. I don't know if you have any KI news or any other junior hockey things you want to talk about. There was a WHL player signed by the Poco Trailblazers. It's the second WHL player they've signed going into this year. They've also signed an AJ player and an SJ player. So the Poco Trailblazers are looking pretty legit for next year. I believe Brandon Wynn is the defenseman they signed. Won a Memorial Cup with the Edmonton Oil Kings, and now he's coming to Poco. So crazy news. And then another big thing in the PJHL, the Ridge Meadow Flames traded Evan Fidel to the Port Moody Panthers. Fidel played 2 years in the BCHL before joining Ridge last year. So that he was a pretty key player for Ridge. That wasn't one I was expecting to see, but a pretty big move there by Port Moody. Yeah, 2 years for Prince George in the B show. Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Yeah, no, he was a really good player to play against. So I mean, I think what's Ridge's trajectory? Like, are they gonna?
They'll be insane this year. They have almost everyone coming back. They'll be
okay.
Yeah,
it kind of hurts losing him though a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely hurts. But they'll find guys to fill that role and to fill some other roles. Players they have leaving and whatnot. But Ridge will be an unbelievable team. I think one of the top in the PIJ next year as well.
I think the official schedule came out the other week, and I didn't bring it up. Yeah, and the division realignment because of the three expansion teams in the KI this year. Quesnel, Williams Lake, and Merritt. So there's now like kind of like a North division, which is going to be like Kamloops, Chase, 100 Mile, Quesnel, Williams Lake.
Oh, you're not going to be in that one?
No, we got moved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Revelstoke and Sicamous got moved into Princeton's division.
Wow. So that's probably more travel for them then.
Slightly. It's like it's the same time, it's just in a different direction.
No, because it's not the other conference, it's just another division.
Yeah, no, we couldn't go to the other conference, I think, because the time zone switches as soon as you go to Golden.
Yeah.
And then obviously scheduling that with like we would be the only team in the other time zone, and then it would just fuck everything up.
Yeah. No, so I get that. Makes sense.
I feel like that's what makes the most sense. But yeah, so they're going to be in a division. Revelstoke's going to be in a division with Sicamous again, but then they've joined with Kelowna, Osoyoos, Princeton, and not North Oak, because North Oak moved to Quesnel, and Merritt.
Oh wow, that's crazy! So big changes to the KI too.
Yeah, and I think those two divisions are the only ones with 6 teams. The other ones will have, there'll be 6 in the North Division as well. Okay. Chase, Kamloops, Quesnel, 100 Mile, Williams Lake. No, 5. I don't know. Is Merritt in that? I didn't know if Merritt switched over or not. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, I think it's just that league is trending upwards every year, man. Like, I don't know. I just think I saw like there was a goalie from Princeton. He ended up making PA this year, and then he just ended up in Tri-Cities. And it's just like it's so good for the league to see these guys move up. And I feel like he's the first of many where it's going to be looking like a feeder league for either higher end, or it can turn into when it does go tier 1, it can turn into kind of the pinnacle for BC Junior A, sanctioned Junior A, of course.
But we talked a little PIJ, talked a little KI. I think we should probably send it over to our next interview to talk some VI. Our next interview, I said earlier, Richard Kimber, the head coach and GM of the Comox Valley Glacier Kings of the VIJHL. He coached me last year on the Mission City Outlaws in the PJHL. But I think we'll send it over to him now. It's a great interview, so stay tuned.
All right, Owen, what are your self-care non-negotiables? I never skip leg day. Also, I never skip therapy day. When your schedule is packed with kids, activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. Even when we know what makes us happy, it might be hard to make time for it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. Me personally, I've had some therapy. I've used a couple therapists before, and it's really helped my mental health. My mental health. Sorry. Sports therapy is really important, and your mental health can help in sports a lot. If you're thinking of starting therapy, you can give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill up a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/THPN today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/THPN. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Okay, I am thrilled to bring on our third ever guest. I think he's going to have some awesome stuff for us. He put up 63 points in 50 games played for the Abbotsford Pilots back in his junior career. He began his coaching journey last year with the Mission City Outlaws. He proved doubters wrong, leading them to the playoffs with a new staff and a young team with low expectations. This season, he'll be behind the bench for the Comox Glacier Kings of the VIJHL. Welcome to the Jungle Hockey Podcast, Richard Kimber.
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Doing good, man.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Yeah, for the 3 episodes we released, or what?
Yeah, I didn't miss that Chenier one. I caught a little of your buddy up country. But I didn't want to miss the Chenier one. He did good though. It was funny.
Yeah, he did pretty good. I figured you'd want to listen to that one. But,
did you coach Chenier at all?
No, I didn't get to I got to coach him a little bit, and we had a little bit of spring when I took over. We had some spring teams.
Yeah.
We had 2 spring teams, and he was on kind of both of them at that time. We were just kind of getting to know all the players. So I got to know him real quick. Yeah, it was great. I wanted him to, I fully expected him to play with us, and he kind of wanted to go where he wanted to go. And, we accommodated him a little bit later after we could figure out a deal with Surrey. And, I think he had some friends there and wanted a fresh start. And yeah, he did good there. We ended up playing him in the playoffs, and
you beat him, right?
Thank God. He's exactly as advertised though, right? Like,
yeah,
obviously junior hockey in every league, there's one of those guys, and then there's like a Claude Lemieux, and then there's Chenier. So, you know what? The guy's a great, I don't know. He's a great guy off the ice. He's just one of those guys you'd rather have on your team than play against. So,
might be a little different this year with the visor. Someone might be able to do something about it.
Yeah, but I think he's an animal too. Like he's
yeah.
He's not I don't think it's going to change his game at all. People say that a lot, and with the visors, and obviously that's a great thing that's coming back for these kids. Gives them the full junior experience, I feel. A lot of that was missing last year, and unfortunate for Owen in his era that it did that. But it keeps guys like that in line a little bit, and it's gonna be interesting to see those boys running around. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of wanted to get started by asking kind of a little bit about your playing career. Who got you into hockey? How do you start playing back in the days?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Mission, so last year was a treat to be able to start, your first job in junior hockey with the hometown team. I actually never even been to a Mission Outlaws game before last year, stepping behind the bench. 20 plus years ago, I played for the Abbotsford Pilots, and that's all I knew, right? Was back then the Pilots were the team to play for too. It was a privilege for sure, right? Back then, everybody wanted to play there, and a full barn every night. And, they have a pretty rich history there for Junior B, and and now they call it Junior A. But yeah, my dad played Saturday night pickup hockey. He never played minor hockey, but started playing. When me and my brother were little guys. They're a little bit just before him and my uncle. They'd have two ice times Saturday night, businessman's hockey or whatever they call it. They had a 4-team league, and yeah, they'd have a slot at 8 and a slot at 9:30. So I'd go on for warm up. 4 or 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, go on for warm up. Me and my brother. After the ice clean, we'd get another warm up. And then after the second game, we'd get to stay out there, all the kids, as long as you want until midnight. And the ice arena guy would, let us stay out there and work on our magic as little Steve Eisermans or Wayne Gretzky, Pat LaFontaine. Yeah, so I was pretty lucky that way. My dad always found the ice for us, for me and my brother, and learned to walk down there, learned to skate down there, and apparently this year learned to coach down there. So pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the playing career was wicked. I actually took a few years off after 16, 17. I didn't play hockey for a couple of years, and my brother who passed away almost 20 years ago. I remember he had a major heart surgery, and he said, "I want you to go try out for the pilots." He's like, I think you'll make it." And we had some mutual friends on the pilots, and went out there to rookie camp as a 19-year-old rookie with a full beard, and um, went out there and did my thing, and made the team. And it was honestly, I remember it. I remember every minute of it. It was a great year and a great experience. Jack Olson still was on the team then as well as now, and he's been great for that league. And every guy that's ever gone through there, they always remember Jacko. Great guy, and an experience that I yeah, treasure forever. Right.
Yeah, so obviously this year you've taken the step and you're coaching. You coached with the Mission City Outlaws this year. I just kind of wanted to see see your perspective on, like, you played obviously back then for Abbotsford,
Mm.
how the hockey and the league has changed as
Yeah.
it's kind of come through and modernized here.
Definitely a different game, and I think I always talk to my dad about hockey, like you guys do as well, right? And growing up, all the rides home and this and that, and back then, I wouldn't say it's more like everyone says, in my day, more physical. I think it was. I think it's just as physical, but I think that guys were scared back then. Um,
Really?
yeah, the night before, maybe not scared, but you guys know that feeling when someone's on the ice, and that if there's a few screws loose. There was a lot of those guys. There was a lot of those guys back then, and if you thought that you were tough, or you were going to chuck them that night, you knew the night before, who you were going with. But it was a one fight rule back then, still with the pilots. So I had a coach that was, tough as nails. His stats, I read his stats one time, and it was like, whoa, like he had like 150 points in England and like 700 penalty minutes. And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to listen to that guy. I looked up to him so much, and I still do, actually. Even coaching last year, I thought about him a lot. Gary Duville, mean, but had the best shot on the team, and he was the coach. So it was easy to listen to a guy like that when he's that good. But yeah, I think the game's changed in that way where guys can get away with a lot of stuff. I don't. Maybe this year with the rules kind of going back a little bit. I don't know what exactly the rules are for fighting, and not that fighting answers everything, but it keeps a lot of it in line, right? There's a code out there, and I don't know. I feel guys have to follow it if they know they're going to get a smack in the lips.
Yeah, I think going from cages to visors is going to be pretty big adjustment for some players. You'll see some true colors.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited, and the young guys are still covered as well for Hockey
Right,
Canada.
yeah.
Obviously, we're different over there, with the private hockey, non-sanctioned, but I think for Hockey Canada, they're still protecting the young guys, and yeah, it'll be good. I think it's good for everybody. It's good for all these leagues as well to do that. Good for the fans, the optics of it looks great, and yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So, I mean, I want to talk about last season. I mean, your first year getting to coach junior hockey. What was that like? A first year team taking over in the off season, whole new staff, new equipment guy, Slater, and
He's gonna be
just what was that whole thing like last year?
yeah. When are you guys getting him on?
I bet one day.
He's a great interview. I heard his interview. We were so lucky last year. We have the Boiler as our announcer.
Yeah,
And the boys are really lucky. Like even when I played for the Pilots, we had Mauro Ronaldo. I don't know if you know him, but obviously he calls all the pride fights and big boxing matches. So like the announcer is just an absolute. It's a bonus for junior hockey, and we had a good one last year. And Slater's interview is incredible. I've listened to it about 30 times. It's so good. He didn't miss a beat. So,
he's
but
hilarious.
but yeah, no. Last year was a lot like it actually got me ready for the new job that I have. We came in with a huge turnover, as you know. I think we had 3 20-year-olds to start.
Yeah,
Traded a couple of them throughout the year. So it ended up just being Owen, who was the last 20 bomb standing. We ended up picking up a couple more. I think just 2 more with
yeah,
Nikki and Stepan and Sepita.
yeah,
And those guys were just like the biggest pickups. They were the, good hockey players, absolutely good hockey players, and top of that team for like line one or whatever you call it. But leadership wise, they're the reason why we did so well was yourself and those 2 20-year-olds. The age difference between a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old is just huge, and you guys know that from being
yeah,
you guys went through the whole thing, right? So
Yeah.
we got lucky there. We from ID camp, I think we took a lot of players out of ID camp because we had a lot of spots to fill. I think they had 20 year olds the year before.
yeah. At least, yeah,
Seriously?
I
yeah.
don't know the exact number, Owen, but you
At
probably
least
do.
13. Yeah.
So for recruiting wise, it was a lot of work, and myself and the general manager there it was a lot of work. We put a lot of time in and came up with a really nice roster. The bonus was throughout the year is that the roster, we made some additions and some subtractions, and those were tough decisions as well. But I think by the end of the year, I think we lost 3 20-year-olds. So, good shape going forward, and that's kind of the goal. And you want players to advance. I think there's a couple of players that left that advanced. There, our goaltender. Hopefully, he gets a crack somewhere. He deserves it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just a great season. We had a great group of guys. I know you talk about Revelstoke and every year, and that's kind of the goal with any team you put together. You want to build an organization like that kids want to come to, and I think we did that there. And I just the best part about the whole journey was the relationships. The boys that we had on that team last year. There's not one guy that I wouldn't go to war with. They're all great players to coach, and it was a privilege. And yeah, I wish the best for them this year going forward. Great guys.
Yeah. Well, I think every single guy in that room last year absolutely loved going to war for you. One thing that definitely stood out was I've never heard anybody with pre-game, mid-game, and post-game speeches like Dickie of all kinds. He'd make you cry, make you laugh, make you want to run through a wall for him. He always knew what to say in the moment. So he was definitely an amazing players coach to have last year, and every single one of the boys in that room, feel the same way about you that you do about us. So it was an
Yeah,
honor. But obviously now this year you have the opportunity to move on to Comox in the VIJHL. So I mean, obviously that must be super exciting for you. Been seeing a lot of the signings you guys have been making. So what's been happening with that? How are you feeling about this season? Obviously, you're kind of doing the whole similar process over again.
yeah, very similar. same kind of turnover rate for our team. Not for every team in the league, obviously, but also there's also a turnover rate with guys just wanting to go to school. Unfortunately, sometimes kids don't know that like this junior hockey journey, it goes by pretty quick, as you guys know.
Oh yeah.
And then before you know it, you're running a podcast, and you know, what I mean? I know. Congratulations, Joe, on going to Drury. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, down south there.
Good for you. And Owen should go somewhere, but I don't know what he's thinking if he's going to BCIT for journalism. But either way, Owen deserves to play more hockey. He was my captain last year, and for me, he was the best captain that I could have had. The guy is the last time I seen this guy, game 4 against the future champs, and this guy's
Oh yeah,
he missed game 3 because he was like toast, and
I
he
remember,
wanted to
man. He was
go.
telling me about it.
He wanted to go so bad, and then game 4 he came back, and to be honest, if it was a regular season game, there's no chance he would have played, no chance. And the guy is literally puking every shift, dry heaving, the grossest like thing you could see. And I just kept looking over at him like, you're so it didn't matter what he did out there, he was still effective, and the guy is just an absolute warrior, as you know, Joe. So pump Owen's tires a little bit there. He had a great final season, and he fought right to the end. So couldn't be
Thanks.
more proud. Couldn't be more proud of captain, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now he's traveling the world, telling everybody he's the captain of the Outlaws with Thailand.
We ended up getting our revenge for you in the cyclone there, or the Moat
Yeah,
there for you guys. So I had to get him back for that.
Yeah, I watched a little bit. No, I know that's a big trip for all those other teams, like even the Saanich team. I know, I think I think all teams are beat up at that time of year, right? But I mean,
Oh yeah, man.
the travel and the expenses and the whole deal, it's a lot on an organization. I'm curious what they're going to do this year, and I'll be watching. I watch all kinds of hockey all the time, and yeah, it's a good 3 good leagues, and they're all good, and they're all going in their own direction, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a question leading you into the VI. Obviously, they've announced that they've left Hockey Canada as well, kind of going unsanctioned route, like to almost affiliate themselves more with the BCHL.
Yeah.
So how do you have any insight on how like that's going to work for the league and itself, and will guys be able to get affiliated in the BCHL and then come back, go up and down relatively easily now? And do you think it's like a good thing for the league, or do you think it's going to kind of have its struggles?
No, and I'm not. I'm new to the league as well, fellas. So, I've had a couple of meetings with the big brass of the league and all the other GMs and owners, and I've picked the brain of my owners quite a bit, and I got friends that own a couple of the teams over there and stuff. But by no means am I the spokesperson for the V. So if I get anything wrong here, you can definitely text me and say you can rub me or whatever and rib me about not being correct, but. Yeah, no, they're definitely affiliated. So I would call it like they're like the farm teams to the BCHL in a way, because they can't pull from Hockey Canada during the season, right? So, if you need a goalie and you got the top goalie in the VI, so he can AP for any team in the BCHL. So it's not just one team. If you can AP for any team, and so multiple teams, so you can play for 2 teams in 1 week, as far as I understand. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's just a different dream, right? There's, you play in the Pidge, and you play in the top teams there, or the top teams in the K, and you're looking at, different types of scholarships, or different, pro hockey, or whatever your goal is, or definitely in Hockey Canada now with the WHL announcement, and I'm not sure exactly what that means as well, but you can pull players up, and there's some good players in that league last year. I'm sure in yours as well, Joe, but in the Pidge that are on the verge of getting there, right? Or they're already kind of swimming with that team. So yeah, the top players will get good looks in both sanction and non-sanction, and that's kind of the sales pitch with all these development programs, is that there's a chance to advance in your hockey career, a good chance, and get put in the right spot and pick the right spot to play, and um, give yourself the best shot at moving forward and with your hockey career, advancing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So I mean, obviously you have Austin Charlton and Braden Candy coming over to Comox to play with you this year after coaching them in Mission. I mean, how you must be pretty excited for that, getting to have those two guys for you again.
Yeah, those two guys are just, like really, really close to my team last year. Obviously, it's kind of a, it's tough, right? Like it's like a divorce, right? You're telling the kids it's not their fault. It's mine, right? So, kind of stuff like it is though, right? Like, all these guys, you get so close to everybody, and there was multiple, not just with that team, but with every team in that league, or in the K. They can take players from, like, they've taken players from the VI and moved them to Hockey Canada, and it goes both ways. And up until those deadlines, you can play where you want. You can cross it, and that's just the rules they have right now, right? There kind of are no rules for that. So
Right.
yeah, we scooped Braden and Charlie, and both of them are 19 years old. I think they want to, it's different in the K and the V. There's, the bus rides, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's different, right? It's definitely a different experience, and those guys wanted to maybe venture off from where, from home, billets, the whole deal. It's different than just, driving 20 minutes to your game every day or your practice. So
Yeah, for sure.
they're in for the same thing I'm in for, right? It's different. I was 5 minutes away from the arena last year. It's no problem going down for a practice running, so it'll be different for them, but I'm excited for them. It's a good opportunity. Candy definitely skates like a BCHLer, so hopefully he'll put the puck in the net a few times and catch the eye of someone watching them, right? So, and they're
Yeah.
great guys. They're great guys, but like I said, that whole team, there's a bunch of guys on every team in that league that we'd love to have over there, but um, yeah, there's a lot of kids and a lot of kids to pick from, and yeah, here we are, August 1st.
Yeah. Braden Candy, best penalty killer in the league.
He really is, right? Like, even the
Yeah.
other guy, even guys that play against him, he's pretty. And you don't even have to. A guy like him, like we had him and Doc to start, and it's just like, Dockrell, same thing, really good penalty killer, and just
Yeah.
wouldn't even have to say anything. They're hopping over there. They know they're going out to do their job, and they didn't. And don't complain once. They, like, Candy just knows his role, and he's not saying anything. He's just out there doing whatever it takes, and everyone notices, right? Like,
Absolutely.
you got a guy who kills penalties every game for 48 games, and he'll do anything, and guys love having guys like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I only really have one more thing to ask. Joe, do you have anything else?
Actually, no, you go on.
Okay, so Dickie, I was just gonna ask if you have. I mean, this is kind of a loaded one. You can kind of answer it however you want. Just a best story, a message, or just anything like that to tell or for the podcast or anything.
Yeah, just kind of what I'm saying with, we got friends, and I got friends in every league, for that junior A, junior slash B, whatever you want to call it. Obviously the B show is it's a beauty league, and the WHL is the pinnacle, right? But I mean, when it comes to all these other BC leagues, like, it's a privilege to play on any of those teams. I went for a coaches clinic, and it was all K coaches and all pitch coaches, and they're in good hands. All those teams are in really good hands. The guys that coach these teams are really good coaches, and they work really hard. Um, a lot of behind the scenes too with all the general managers too. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely, it pays off, and I just hope that the kids know it goes by fast, right? Your junior career, once it's over, you have dreams and nightmares. Like you think you're still playing, you're still playing, right? So it goes by fast, and my message would be just the same thing I told all my boys last year: is enjoy every minute of it, and don't take it for granted. It's a great time, and it goes by quick, and you just gotta keep rocking out there. It's fun, right? There's nothing better than a team. And like last year at the end of the year, how upset everybody is if you win or lose. You look at the Flames, how happy they were. You look at Revy, how happy they were, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then you look at the other side, and losing's not, it's the same, it's the opposite feeling, right? But when it's over, right? So enjoy every minute of it. And I got a question for Joe though.
Yeah.
You sent me a message in February asking me
Yeah,
I
I
don't
got
know.
your number mixed up with a different coach.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm like, Joe, I'm like, you're done.
Yeah.
You're over
I
it. I'm
got
like, aren't you 103?
you were I got your number mixed up with a college coach that
Yeah.
I was texting.
No, I know.
And I because I didn't save the contact, right? And I had your number. I think I had your number for a skate in the summer or something.
Of course, yeah. Well,
And
we actually, I started talking with Joe like when I started the mission job, because you're just talking to everybody once you get going through
Yeah.
everything, and then I think your brother was talking about Revy last year at the start of the year, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
and then I think Pamps was going there or something. I
He
don't know.
was. Yeah,
That's
Pamphlet
what it
was
I
supposed
was.
to
heard
go, but
about
he
that.
quit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that. I would have loved to seen him play. I heard he was a beauty too. So
Oh yeah, wrecking
just a
ball.
force. But yeah, no, I figured Joe. I was waiting until we were done here, and I hope.
texting with this coach. This I think it was an NCAA coach,
Yeah.
a D3 guy, and I didn't save his number, and I should have looked because I right away I was like, oh, the area code
Yeah.
was completely different. So I was like, oh, I should have just and then by that point I was too far in, and I was just like, oh fuck, like
I wish I would
I,
have. I wish I would have caught on a little quicker. I would have been like, "Oh yeah," like saying
yeah, I'll
down.
take you down there.
Yeah, no, I would have messed with you a little bit.
Mess with my brain. No, yeah, it was that was a weird point in my my time because I was sure that I wanted to play college hockey next year, but I was
Mm,
looking at all my different options, and
yeah,
there were so many fucking different contacts just scrolling through my phone, and I was like, fuck, like just
yeah,
got it mixed up. Yeah.
all good. Well, I figured it was. I figured that's what it was, but I just wanted to. I just wanted to say it on your show, right?
On the
So
pod, yeah, no, I appreciate that.
yeah, no, it's good.
um, I don't think I got anything else, Owen.
Okay, well,
Oh,
if that's it, if
maybe
that's it,
I was actually wondering how much of a say you have in like is it fully your choice? Like if you guys make a trade, like you were talking about making a trade with Revy or whatever,
Mhm.
um,
Oh,
sending a
last
guy
year,
up there or whatever. What's up?
last year.
Yeah, like well, is it? Do you get involved in the trade talks and like are you like closely working with the GM and how does that work?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think all around the league. I think in the end, it's the GM. In our case, it was our owner, but had a great relationship with him all year when it came to building a hockey team and bouncing things off of each other. He's a hockey guy, and it was easy to work. We
Great,
got, we
man.
got the Veach boys, so yeah. So
nice.
like Brad's a super smart dude when it comes to junior hockey. He's got a lot of experience, and that's kind of, you can't put a price on that, right? So
Yeah,
we're working side by side now when it comes to building this team and camps, and yeah, it's good when you got another guy that you can lean on like that too. I was lucky last year with our GM, and lucky this year with an assistant GM that smart hockey guys. So it's good.
nice. Okay. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up. Thank you so much, Dickie. That was
Big
awesome.
big
We
gulp,
really, really
big
appreciate it.
gulp, big gulps, eh? See you later. No, you guys are. It's fun, right? I know. You invited me on here, and I know you guys are. If you guys need any help with rounding up different characters for guests, obviously you guys got friends in all the leagues. I think it's cool. Just what you guys are doing. It's a cool thing for for all the hockey, and you guys are having fun doing it. So just keep it going as long as you can, fellas. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. But congratulations on the show so far. You guys are doing a good job. No V,
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
no V
Thank
necks,
you.
so no V necks.
Thank you so much, Dickie. We really appreciate it. We'll have to have you on again sometime as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a end of season update of how the VI went this year.
Yeah, well, I hope it's a good update for sure. Maybe put we'll get Chenier and me on together next time. We'll have a little
Let you guys go back and forth.
Claude Lemieux.
I would love that. Oh, that's actually a great idea. I'll see if he's down.
Pardon the interruption. Okay, guys. Well, good luck with the show, and good luck in Drury, and good luck with you, Owen, with the show. It's going good. So yeah, keep in touch, fellas.
Good. Awesome. We'll be watching. This podcast is sponsored by DraftKings. Oh, and you know the beautiful thing about being a sports fan? There's only like 2 days in the whole year without a game. With so much happening and so much action, that makes just about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, it's super easy for new users, first-timers to get started. You try betting on something simple, you know, like picking a team to win. You can just go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It really couldn't be any easier. You know, I was looking at some odds today. Rockies plus 180. Seemed like pretty good value. They might have not a very good pitcher on, but that was pretty good odds there. And then the Athletics as well, plus 170. You can combine them in a parlay as well. So, and yeah, if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out, man. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets right away. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet only $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Bootco Casino and Resort, 21 plus age, varies by jurisdiction. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. See terms and responsible gambling sources at dkng.co/base.
Okay, thank you so much to Richard Kimber for coming on and doing that interview with us. Dickie was awesome. Joe, what did you think of the interview?
Seems like a really good coach, man. Like, definitely deserves to. I'm not saying Mission didn't give him a great opportunity, but deserves to jump up. You know, do you consider the VI a jump up? Do you consider it a sidestep? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a lateral move, but I mean, like he said in the interview, you know, it's a whole new experience for him being in the VI. It's a little more of an authentic junior experience, and that's something that he wanted, and it's a great opportunity no matter what.
A great coach. He's going to be a great coach there, and I think if he ends up making the jump to like an AJ or an SJ or even a BCHL role, he would just be really loved by his teammates. It just seemed like a good guy to have around the room. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, buddy. Yeah, he certainly is. But yeah, so I guess real quick before we finish up here, we'll talk some Olympics, Joe. Canada's women's national soccer team. Did you see this controversy? The coach was caught flying a drone over New Zealand's practice. She was fired, sent home along with a few other staff members, and Canada's women's national team was deducted 6 points. For those of you who don't know, you play 3 games in the round robin. If you win, you get 3 points. So being deducted 6 points starts them off at -6. and they actually just won their third game today. So they ended up winning all three and moving on, regardless of the massive point deduction. They beat France in France. So congrats to the Canadian national women's team players. They've done an amazing job playing through all this. But about this whole controversy, Joe, what do you think?
Cheating,
this is crazy.
Good for I'm saying obviously pretty unacceptable behavior from the coach. And she said no, you can't prove this, but she said that there was no she didn't share any information. Basically, she didn't provide anything that would help the team win. But she still flew a fucking drone over top of a practice. It's like, I don't get it.
What's the point? What are you gaining from that? It's so ridiculous to risk. Apparently, the men's team old coach John Herdman was doing it too.
It's fucked.
They were saying he had showed players. I think there was a thing I saw where they said John Herdman showed 17 players on the Canadian national team footage of another team's practice. I know Honduras accused Canada of it before, and Canada was like, "Oh no, it was some kids. Like, it wasn't us." So pretty, Hockey Canada had to clean up their act. Maybe Soccer Canada can clean up their act now, and we can get back to avoiding the controversy with our amazing sports teams and discrediting our athletes. You know what I mean?
Not to talk soccer a lot, but I think the Canadian Federation, I don't know if it's all under one umbrella, right? So it's that whole group that manages men's and women's soccer has just, I don't know if it, in the past at least, kind of fallen off a little bit, and they're turning it around now. Like the Canadian teams are playing really good friendlies. Like they've gotten they got a new coach in, they got everything, but like this is just another thing where it's like, I don't know, it just kind of paints a bad rep for Canada, and like Canada for women's soccer is very good. Like literally, they won the last gold.
They're defending champions. Huge deal.
It's the equivalent of Argentina cheating in the World Cup. Pretty much. It's
pretty much.
It's ridiculous. So if it was men's soccer, it would be huge, and it would have blown up. And I think, honestly, good for them for firing. Was it Canada or FIFA who?
Okay. I actually don't know the details. I just know the coach went home.
If the sports, if the governing body Canada got rid of her, good for them. But if it was a FIFA thing, and that's end up just being like a year ban or something, that sounds right actually. But yeah, it's just kind of unacceptable behavior for that level of sport, and it kind of paints them in a bad
100%
light going into the knockouts. Not only gives them a harder game, because if they would have won the group, right? They would have been the first seed. Now they're the second seed, so they're gonna have to play, who knows, probably a pretty good side in the first knockouts. So it's just a crazy situation. You just don't see that type of shit anymore. Like it is pretty insane.
Yeah, but moving on to some better Canadian Olympic news, the basketball team has been on fire. They took down Greece in the first game. Giannis went crazy, but he wasn't enough to stop Team Canada. And who did we take out in the next game?
I don't know. I didn't watch.
Shoot, I don't know either. But I know that Canada's men's basketball team, they've been playing amazing. They've qualified for the quarterfinal. So and they had the toughest group in the group stage by far. As far as US, have you seen how they've done? I haven't really seen anything.
No news is usually they're doing well. Like if they were losing, they would have definitely would have been stuff. We beat Australia 93-83.
Yes, correct. Australia, yeah. So, and then I believe we have to play Spain next still, but we're through. We beat Australia. We beat Greece. Two good teams in this tournament. So, it's that's great for the Canadian men.
The Americans, what did they do? Fucking USA has like 30 medals already.
Well, they beat the U.S. played South Sudan today and beat them. So they kind of redemption for their
they beat
redemption for their preseason game or their pre-Olympic game where they only won by 1. But have you followed much of the Olympics? Canada, it seems like they've been doing really well. We've been winning medals in various things. We've been doing really well in team sports. Our women's rugby team upset Australia, which is insane. But
Dude,
much else about the Olympics?
All I saw, there was this guy that went viral today, this Turkish shooter, and he had the handgun. You know what? You do see what I was talking about? And he was like, all these cases. So for reference, all these shooter guys have like these super intense magnifying glass like type things on their face to like make it super accurate when they're shooting. And this Turkish dude just shows up with no technology whatsoever and just shoots, just no advantage, nothing, is shooting his gun, and he fucking wins a silver medal. Like, unbelievable. That was fucking so
I saw
funny.
that, dude. And he was dressed
he was like
casually
in a football kit.
It was just
he was like a Turkish football kit, and he had like a he looks so Turkish in the photo of him like holding the gun. Did you see it? It was super funny.
I know, yeah. I saw it. It was so funny. Yeah, buddy. But if we got nothing else here,
on the Olympics,
do you have anything, or do you want to wrap this one up?
There was a couple things on the Olympics. Yeah, so there was I saw, I think, was it Simone Biles that was talking about, or no, Coco Gauff was talking about how once all the athletes showed up, everyone just started booking hotels because of how shitty the fucking accommodation was. Like her, so
Really?
for women's tennis, at least, I don't know if there was for the US, but basically they show up and there's no air conditioning, no running water, and it's fucking France in the summer, right? Like, it's hot.
Yeah.
And they show, and there's no, and the beds are fucking dog shit. Like, you saw the cardboard bed.
I saw that.
And yeah, apparently the accommodation has just been horrible. So she was like the only she was the only American tennis player to stay at the Village. And the rest of them just booked hotels.
That's ridiculous, dude. And there was also that thing about them spending $1.5 billion on the water for the swimming, and the water conditions were too unsafe, and they couldn't swim. So yeah, so a few issues with the Paris Olympics this year. Hasn't been the smoothest of events so far, but hopefully
I also saw
gets a little better.
Some of the soccer. Well, you saw the circus of that game. Have we talked about that?
Morocco, Argentina. I think we talked about that. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
did. There was other reports. I don't know if it was confirmed or not, but there was basically, these are world-class soccer players, right? And obviously in Europe, that sport is huge, like probably the biggest sport, if not top 3, right? So, and there was no security during training and stuff. So guys like Julian Alvarez were saying that like they were just getting swarmed by people, and people were getting robbed. Like, they were going into the
someone got robbed.
And it just seems like a bit of a fucking, like, they weren't prepared for this type beat. I don't know if it's like how bad it really is, but it's just like some of the reports and some of the stories just seem pretty fucked.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. Yeah, hopefully they can clean things up a bit. But
I think that's good.
You got anything else? Yeah, buddy. So thank you all so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed the interview. We enjoyed being a part of it. Please make sure to by the way, 23 ratings now. So we went from 16 to 23. We almost got 25. That's just Spotify though. That's just Spotify. So please rate the show. Please download the show. Leave us a like. Share it. Everything. All the support means a lot. This has been awesome so far.
Yeah, we're excited with the.
Joey,
can we talk about the? You can cut this, but can we talk about the Hockey Podcast Network thing?
We can just leave it for now, dude. We'll talk. We'll set a meeting with Kyle or something.
Okay, sounds good.
More. I just don't want to just. I think that's good.
So yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I've been really happy with how this has grown a little bit. You know, it's
For sure, buddy.
we're taking baby steps, but it's got the potential, man. It's got the potential. That's for sure.
For sure, buddy. Okay. That was an awesome one, Joe. Thanks a ton, buddy.